Howdy, folks. I'm Marvin Forte, KFNW Director. Welcome to the first KFNW Current Podcast. First of all, I want to thank a couple of sponsors. Northwest Tackle, they are our media sponsor for the 2026 season. Couldn't do this podcast without their help. And to Diamond Parking and Diamond Self-Storage, they are our presenting sponsor for the 2026 season. Thanks a ton for coming back. And especially, with us losing Next Adventure, Diamond Parking and Self-Storage has stepped up, and some other sponsors are in the works. So hopefully we'll be able to recover what we lost by losing them as a sponsor. Let's talk about this podcast a little bit. My plan for this is to do news about KFNW and about fishing in general. We'll do interviews with anglers and with some of the sponsors and more content than that. I was going to try and line up an interview for tonight, but with this being the first time I'm doing this, I figured it's probably safer for me to just keep it simple and talk to you guys and show you some stuff, and then the next one I'll have some people on either live or I'll record their interviews first, one or the other. We'll figure that out. We'll also be doing drawings and giveaways on this podcast, and I've got some giveaways tonight that we'll get into. In the news, Bassmaster, they have put their schedule up for 2026, and they're doing an event on Clear Lake, June 6th and June 7th. Luckily, that doesn't coincide with our schedule. It doesn't overlap with our schedule. It's close, but it doesn't exactly. So we'll get into that when I show you guys the schedule, and we'll talk about it. And there's another possible tournament coming up in 2026 that's outside of KFNW, but friendly to KFNW. We definitely look forward to working with them on that. If that happens, I'll keep you posted on that as we find out. In other news, cheating. So it's interesting. Both of these cheaters that have come to light, the Ernesto guy and now Jake Hausman, both of those I've had to DQ. Hausman, he fished the Susquehanna event. He lives up in that area, and he fished the Susquehanna event a couple of times. And this year, the one that we did this past summer, he was warned the day before when he was fishing the KAS event that he was too close to a fish ladder. There are laws in Pennsylvania about that, and KAS's rules and our rules, you have to follow all the regulations, local and state and federal regulations, and he wasn't. He was too close to that, and he was too close to the Lowhead dams as well. So we ended up DQing him. All that event, it was the native event, and we were doing it alongside KAS and 2 or 3 local clubs as well, and everybody DQ'd him from their events for the same reason, for doing that. And he tried to plead his case and get somebody to let him slide on it. No one was willing to do that, so that held. But now this latest is obviously much more egregious than fishing too close to a fish ladder. That's something somebody could do by mistake. But this other one is certainly no mistake. We have been really fortunate with KFNW to not really have to worry about cheating all that much. We haven't had any egregious kind of cheating. Certainly nothing on either of these levels of these two that I've had to DQ in the native event. But we all are already very aware of what's going on in other fishing communities, and we're always on the lookout for any potential for this stuff to happen. With these high-profile ones, it kind of puts a black eye on kayak fishing, and I hate that. And I sure hope it doesn't encourage other people to try to cheat and do this. But we are going to be hyper vigilant. We're going to be more conscious of it. And we're probably going to institute some new things that are going to help us prevent this sort of cheating in the future. Tourney X is already working on some really powerful upgrades that are going to help a lot in this regard. Going to help prevent cheating, and if someone cheats, help to kind of lock down everything so that it doesn't go away. We need you guys to help us. If you see somebody doing something that they shouldn't be doing, especially in regards to what we would consider cheating. There's a lot of different levels of cheating. But certainly anything that's overt, please let us know if you see something like that. We can't be everywhere. We can't have eyes everywhere. So we're relying on all of you to help us do it. If somebody's out there literally cheating, they're stealing money from KFNW members. So, I mean, if you're worried about being a snitch, I mean, if they were stealing something out of your house or one of your friends' houses, would you call the police on them? Yes. So do the same for us if you see anything. One thing that has been talked a lot about nationally is this idea of doing a video release. And that's something that if people really want to start locking down potential cheating, video release is something that would really help eliminate a lot of possibilities of things that, you know, like this Jake Houseman thing. If there was a video of him releasing that fish, there's no way he could have done the little kayak cutout that he did. You could never pull that off. And there's a lot of things like that you really couldn't pull off if you did a video release. It's extra trouble for all of you anglers if we did it. So, you know, it's not something that I take lightly. So I would love to get your feedback on it. Let me know if there's anything that, if there's any issues you have with that idea. It's probably something we would do on a trial basis for a while and see how it went. We wouldn't, like, what I worry about is if somebody didn't get a good video, they put the fish on the board, they get some photos, and then the fish flops off the board before they get their release. We've all had that happen. Like, I don't want to deny somebody's fish in that instance. That breaks my heart. To somebody catches a giant fish, gets really good board photos of it, and then it flops off the board before they get a release photo. I don't know. That bugs me. The idea of denying a fish for something like that. So we're going to have to see. But we'll try it probably. I know Tourney X is working on the ability to do that, to be able to upload your photo and upload a video. So when they do, we'll do some trial runs of it where it's not absolutely required, but we'll just put it to the test, see how we like it. All right, I know what all of you are waiting for. You are waiting to see the schedule. If you've tried to go to the website, you notice that it's locked down. It's got a password on it, so you can't get in there. I'm going to show it to you a little bit here first, and then I'll flip the switch and turn it on so that you can check it out live. Let me change my view here. There it is. Okay, this is the new website. It's a bit different. A lot of the same stuff's on here. It's just rearranged a bit. You can see right off the top, we've got the first 3 tour events listed right there. Tour event number 1, we're going back to potholes. We just finished the season there for 2025, and we're going back again April 25th to potholes. It's going to be a very, very, very different lake than it was when we just fished it for the Classic. The water was low. The anglers could only use 3 launches for that event. There's a whole bunch of other launches that will be in play in April. There is one boat tournament going on that day. It's a fairly small one. I'll reach out to the tournament director and let them know we're fishing as well, and we'll expect a lot of people. That will also be the Native Watercraft No Limit Big Bass Power Hour. So I expect we'll have over 100 people there. This is the first place that we did the Native No Limit in the Northwest. Those of you who were there will remember it was in the middle of the summer. It was end of July, and it was ridiculous. It was like 108, 110 degrees. It was brutal. Jim Davis and some other people jumped out of their kayaks and went swimming in the middle of the day because it was just too unbearable. Kyle Zemke won it. He won a couple of the hours, and he won the No Limit, so he cashed a big check, and he got a kayak out of it. So we're looking forward to going back, and it certainly won't be 110 degrees on April 25th. I can pretty much guarantee that. So that's going to be an exciting event. Let's see, do I have anything in my notes that I need to say there? Nope, got all that. Okay, then next up on the list, May the 30th. Oh, I'm sneak peeking you guys down there. May the 30th, 10 Mile Lakes. Now, potholes is confirmed. All of our Washington events have been confirmed. Our Idaho events have been confirmed as well last night, just as of last night. That's why I'm doing this tonight. So our Idaho events are confirmed. Oregon, I don't have confirmation on the permits yet. 10 Mile is notoriously tough to get, especially this time of year. So it's possible that we won't be able to get 10 Mile on 5:30. We will keep the date of 5:30. I think we'll have to. So we'll switch up the location if that happens, and I'll just let you know. I don't know if you noticed, but Tour Event 1 is a qualifier for the Classic. There's that little blue button right after Tour Event 1. Tour Event 2 is a qualifier for the Classic and the West Coast Championship. So we wanted to go somewhere else other than 10 Mile, other than repeating. We wanted to go to one of the other lakes. The problem is we've gotten so big that a lot of the places we like to fish down there, we just can't. We looked at Siltcoos Lake, and we don't think it could handle more than probably maybe 50 vehicles. And that's just not enough. If we get 80 people to show up like we did at 10 Mile this year, there's not going to be enough room for them to park and launch and get on the water. 10 Mile has plenty, no problem there, handling that many. So that's where we'll have to do it down there. Event 3, Tour Event 3, on June 27th, Lake Cascade in Idaho. This is north of Boise, so it's a little more central in the state, but it's still southern Idaho in that Boise area. It is a Classic qualifier. It is a West Coast Championship qualifier as well. That one is confirmed. All right, let's sneak down and look at the next 3. Here we go. Tour Event 4, Banks Lake on 7/25. That one's confirmed. Going to be a good event. That's a big fish lake. It fishes really well. I've gotten a lot of feedback there. People are excited. The handful of people that I have talked to about the schedule are really excited about that one. Should be an awful lot of fun. Then, and that is our Classic and West Coast Championship WCC qualifier. So those are our 3 WCC qualifiers, Tour Event 2, 3, and 4. You can finish in the top 25% of any one of those, or you can complete all 3 of those, and that'll be your West Coast Championship qualification. Tour Event 5, Lake Coeur d'Alene. We're returning there. We fished it in 24. It was fantastic. We did an open there. Garrett Harrison ran an open there around this same date this year and they put up some giants. They put up some big numbers for that event. So I expect that fishing to be really good. And, you know, sometimes it's tough in that time of year to find a place that fishes really well. But the numbers on Lake Coeur d'Alene have been really good. So excited about that one. And then the Kayak Bass Classic. We're moving it up about a week from where it usually is. It's 10-3 to 4 are the 2 days. Columbia River, but you're asking yourself, where? Where on the Columbia River? It's a section of the Columbia that we have not fished. OKBF fished it in 2018, my very first year here fishing in OKBF. It is the Bonneville Pool. So it'll be from the Bridge of the Gods up to the Dalles. It's a big section of river, a little like when we do Umatilla, where there's a big, long section. This is a big, long section. It's almost entirely smallmouth. We don't see largemouth in this section of the river much, but there are some big, big, big smallmouth. And that time of year, it should be good. And the wind is a little more predictable that time of year. You know, we've had 2 classics over the years that had a really windy day. One on CJ Strike Reservoir and one in Lake Wallula, the Tri-Cities area, that the wind was so bad we had to cancel the first day. Both times we had to cancel. So we're always worried about that with the Columbia. The wind isn't as bad right around that time of the year. I already was planning on this when we did the Classic, so I was kind of watching the weather in that Bonneville Pool area. And there's some areas that you can get out of the wind in that section of river too. If for some reason we do have a really, really windy day, you know, I could probably move a day somewhere else for that day. But we'll jump that bridge when we come to it. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Hopefully we'll get both days there. So you're looking at the schedule, you're saying just like, hey, what happened? What happened to August? Well, August is a lousy month for fishing up here. And we've got the West Coast Championship in August as well. So what we decided to do, if I scroll down here and show you the full schedule, we've got our spring opens, same basic date that we did it this year. We did it May 10th this year. It'll be May 9th next year. We've got 2 in Idaho, 1 at Anderson Lake, and 1 at Brownlee Reservoir. So we've got northern Idaho, southern Idaho. We're trying to get the 4 corners of our territory handled here. In Oregon, we've got Dorena Lake, which we've done before. We had some giants at that May event this year. In fact, I caught 2 citations. I caught a citation smallmouth and a citation largemouth in that event, which was nuts. There were a bunch of citation largemouth caught. And then we're doing Alder Lake on the western side of Washington, which we fished before. Should be good that time of year in May. Brownlee should be really good as well. It'll be the Woodhead Park side over on the Idaho side, not the Richland, Oregon side. That's where we'll be setting it up and doing it. Let's see. Okay, so then back to August. So what we've done is in August, we took away a tour event, but we've added a summer open. So now we've got a spring open in the 4 corners, and we've got a summer open in the 4 corners. It's a less expensive event. It's a little more friendly, a little less competitive. The first one, the spring open, will still keep that kind of pro-am team style tournament. Oh, sorry. You guys have been like commenting, and I've just been ignoring you. Robert Motherwell's excited about Banks. Who else we got that said something? Garrett with some nice stuff. And Robert Motherwell. These are great spots. I agree, Robert. They are great spots. So, yeah, our thinking is if we have a tour event in August and you're planning to drive down to the West Coast Championship, and with our schedule being the case that a lot of our anglers have to drive more, I don't want you to have to do it twice in 1 month. I don't want you to drive, if we had an event, let's say, that was in Oregon, and you had to drive from northern Idaho, you're going to drive down to Oregon one weekend in August, drive back home, and then you're going to drive down to Clear Lake on another weekend. That's a lot. That's a lot to ask. So this way, with these summer opens, we've got those 4 corners I talked about. You should have one of those events that's not too far from you. There's a few exceptions. People who live, in certain areas, you're still going to have to travel to get to one of those, but they're a little more central. So in August, what we've got is Newman Lake, which is can be a big fish lake as well. That I've listed it as an IKBF event because it's in that Spokane area. Spokane and Coeur d'Alene are really close to each other. That's that northeast quadrant of our territory. Hagerman, Snake River in the Hagerman Salmon Falls Dam area. We have fished that many times, and it's been a good place to have a tournament. So it should be really great for one of these opens. This August Open, we probably will not do a Pro-Am team thing, just to keep it different. We'll do, I don't know if we'll do some extra theme or format or something with it, but it'll be an open, and it'll encourage people to come out and give tournament kayak fishing a try if they haven't. It's not a lot of money, so there's not a lot on the line. Hopefully it'll get some new people going. Let's see, who else? Brandon said he likes the 2 opens idea. Great, glad to hear it. Thanks, Brandon. And then for Oregon, headed back to Crane Prairie Reservoir, which we haven't done in a few years because we kind of outgrew it. But for these opens, I'm not so worried about it. These opens are going to be 20, maybe 30 people because there's 4 of them. We're splitting up all of our anglers in their respective areas. And Crane Prairie can definitely handle it. Crane's actually a pretty big lake. It fishes pretty good in August. It's higher elevation. It's down near Bend, and it's got a little higher elevation, so it's a little bit cooler weather. It can fish really well, and it can fish tough that time of year. We've had it both ways. We've done quite a few events there in that July and August time frame, and we've had some really great fish caught. So we'll hope that it works out well. And then for the first time ever in a KFNW event, Lake Sammamish. So this is the same thing. Lake Sammamish is really too small for us to do a tour event. We would blow it out. But it's a great lake up there in that northwest quadrant. So yeah, we're hoping that that's going to go really well. It'll be a good place to do it. For these opens, I'm not too concerned if it's a little crowded, if you're fishing around other people, because I hope you give them a little bit of help anyways, since there's going to be a lot of newbies out there. And then a couple weeks after that, we've got the West Coast Championship, Clear Lake. It'll be interesting to see if we get a few more people that are willing to go down to Clear Lake because of this schedule. That's our hope, is that it'll convince more people to make the trek. Thanks, John. And then the classic we've got there. Of course, we've got the online challenge, season long, same sort of idea as what we did this year with it. The news we've got, and then Instagram, and that's about it. Big shout out to Dan Walker, who's been helping me. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about as well. I am looking for more volunteers. Go ahead and turn. Oh, before I jump into that, though, let me just show you a couple more things on the website. So now when you click on tournaments, you'll land on the same thing. It'll have those 6 tiles for the big 6 tour events. It'll have the schedule down here. You will have links here for Tourney X and details. Obviously, I don't have that in here yet, but it'll be there. Same thing here with the online. But if you notice on this page up in the upper right, you've now got a navigation to go through all the previous years. You can go to 2025. That says 2020. Oh, up here. I got to fix that. It says 2026 there. Here's 2025. So you can get to the events by clicking on these and see the old stuff, which is cool. And you can go all the way back to 2019. And then this secondary navigation here, it'll go from the schedule to the AOI. Brandon Hua was our AOI this year, so he's at the top of this list. And then you can go and see the citations. The 25 citations aren't up yet, but if we go to 24 and then click citations, there they are. So I think this is a whole lot easier to navigate. Let's see, we got a couple more. Mike DePeel's Summer Team Open would be a good time. Well, I'm not opposed to the team thing. If everybody, we might take a poll on that and see what people think. I'm not opposed to it being a team thing both times. Yeah, we'll just see. What else do we have here? Pat Moore. Oh my God, Lake Sammamish. I nearly had a heart attack. Sorry, Pat. I didn't mean to take you out. Brian Flory says, let's go. We got a little ways to go. It's going to take a little time. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Brandon. And then Matt Burdick, almost looks like Marvin makes websites for a living. Well, it comes in handy, let's say. I get comments sometimes on the sponsorship deck, sponsorship packet. People are like, whoa, where did this come from? Well, that's what I do. I build websites and I design for print and I do brand strategy. So if you need anything like that, or somebody who does, keep me in mind. Okay, so anyway, I think it'll be a whole lot simpler to navigate through all this stuff to get to the old ones. It was really a pain before, and you had to use all the drop downs. And if you were on a phone, it was a nightmare. This is way better on a phone. It works great on the phone. Let's talk about membership. We've already got a bunch of people who've signed up. So this is a big change this year. You're now signing up for membership on TourneyX. And what this does for us is it ensures that everybody who's signing up for an event is a member, which I had to do manually before. I had to go through and check everybody who had signed up for a tour event and make sure they were a member. And if they weren't, I had to reach out to them and say, hey, you need a membership. So I don't have to do that anymore with this, which is great. On the downside, it means I've got to sign you up for your membership on the website in a different way. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably send you all a code for that, and you can go and purchase your membership, but it'll be free because you've already paid for it on TourneyX. But you'll need the code in order to sign up. We've got 53 that have signed up on here, and if you notice, it's interesting that they did it this way, but it goes in order of how soon they signed up. So I was the first sign up for membership, so that's why I'm at the top left here. And then as we go down, this is the order that they signed up, that's kind of interesting. Let's see, let me look at my notes here. See if there's anything I'm leaving out of that. Oh, one thing I didn't mention that I need to, with the schedule, AOI. AOI will be the best 4 out of 5 events. So this year we did 4 out of 6 events, but with taking that one away, I had the choice of doing either 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5. I think 4 out of 5 makes the most sense. So we're going to go to 4 out of 5 events for AOI and for ROI. Let's see. So back to membership. Oh, and speaking of AOI and ROI, a big shout out to Diamond, who have now funded our AOI payout, our ROI payout, our biggest bag of the year, which I need to make a post about that because we've already given that away for the biggest bag. I'll make a post about that, and I might have them on the next podcast to talk about it. And the biggest 2 citation fish of the year. So Diamond is paying for the prize money for all of those for 2026. For 2025, it was gift certificates from Next Adventure, but then with them closing down, we converted that to gear. So they've all gotten gear. Brandon got gear for AOI. He got a kayak. Andrew Janke got a dry suit, and there's a couple others that I still have yet to give out. Some of those prizes that I have yet to give out to some of the other special award winners. Okay, so now that we're talking about membership, we've got 53 people who signed up before November 3rd. They actually all signed up by October 31st. But that's how many signed up. So right now, while we're talking about it, I'm going to do the drawing, and we're going to find out 3 people that are going to get their $50 back. Before I do, though, Matt's got a question. Have you talked about tiebreakers for the season long? Well, we did have a tiebreaker on the season long. We had 8 people who caught a 20 and a half or 21 and a half inch smallmouth. It was nuts. We've never had that many ties. Seems like I've frozen up here. Hello? Are you still seeing me? Am I still live? I don't know what's going on here. Well, let me do a camera switch. Seems like the camera's acting up. This camera won't look as pretty, but it'll get the job done. Pardon me for the technical difficulties. Here we go. All right. Is that working okay? I don't know. I still don't think this is working right. Still no video, just screen. Is that working? Let me go to Facebook and see. Seems like it's gone. Looks like it's working. Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Okay. Let's do the drawing. Turn off Facebook. I'm hearing myself talk back. Okay. All right. 3 names that are going to get their membership back. Let's see who's going to win. Oh, it was almost me. It wouldn't have been me, but Brandon Hua. Angler of the Year, and he gets free membership. How about that? We'll remove him so he doesn't get to go. He doesn't get to win twice. Patrick Kelly. Congrats, Patrick. Last one. Who's going to be? Oh, Jason Carlson. There it is. All right. Congratulations. Okay. Now, let me check my notes and see where we're at here. We already went over that. Last few things on the website. Resources. So this is where you'll have the rules. The rules are currently being rewritten, re-edited. No major changes to the rules. I'm trying to parse them down and get them as concise as I can without losing any of the important stuff that's in there. So that'll come out soon. Identifiers, I don't expect those to change this year. So if you have a 10 tag, you'll be able to use it again. Payout schedule will go there. Liability waiver, we are doing something a little different with the liability waiver this year. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it online where it really works and does everything that we need. I know it'll be a lot easier for all of you at the events. So I'm dedicated to trying to make that work. And then disputes, if you have a dispute about something. Shop is pretty much the same. If you're logged in, you'll see the discount prices on a lot of these items, but it's all the same stuff. News is just the the latest news things that we've got up, and then contact. That's it. Up here at the top, you've got links to all of our social media, and this link at the top right is where you'll log in when you do have your membership. Let's see, we've got some more questions. Will Raymond. Sorry I missed this. Is Lake Sammamish the first event or potholes? It's on the schedule. Lake Sammamish is is the summer open for Western Washington. What else? Bunch of sweets. How about off limits? Is that staying the same? We're talking about that. There might be a subtle difference, but it'll mostly be the same. All right, let's go back to. I assume the other camera's not going to work. All right, so let's switch our camera. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the other camera, but thankfully I had two. I'm glad I set that up. Let's see, what else do we need to talk about? Talked about volunteers. So what I'm looking for in terms of volunteers, and I'll do a post about this with some more specifics, but we really need a little more help to put these events on to make it happen the way that we would like to. And if I can raise the cash that I'm trying to, we'd like to step the events up a big notch where they're even cooler. Let's zoom in. There we go. So we need some help with social media, and I wouldn't mind having like a team of people, a few people. We need more photos of people out on the water, fishing, just, fun, random stuff, especially for like Instagram and Facebook. It just creates a little more interest, and it would allow me on the website to do. It'd be cool to have like a gallery for these events where there's photos of us out on the water, pre-fishing, having fun at camp, at the awards, whatever. But it'd be cool to have some more random kinds of shots. So if we get 3 people, 4 people to help with that, Brandon Hua's already doing a great job helping with some of that. He's doing those videos at the awards that we had most of the season, or not at the awards, but at the pre-event briefing, and he's been helping out with the photography and stuff at the awards as well, which is great. There's always lots of paperwork that I could use help with, and that's not hard. It's just office work, really, but there's a lot of it. Judging. If there's anybody who's really interested in judging and not, if it's it's tricky. Getting people to judge is tricky. There's a lot of training involved in getting them to do it right, and it's not something we want people to do for the wrong reasons. We don't want them to do it because they're competitive and they're trying to see what other people are doing. So that one I'm very picky about. It'd be great to have a gear manager. This is somebody that could help me with all of the gear that we give away at each of the tour events. It'd be great to have somebody that helps with merch, somebody that could actually be there to handle selling the merch. I try and do it in between the other things that I have to do, but sometimes it's hard to find the time. It'd be nice if there's somebody that could just kind of man that for us. And especially something like that, there's perks that I can get you. And some of these others, there's perks as well. IT, audio, and video, really depends on the cash. If I can get the cash to do things the way I would like to, then I definitely need some help with IT, audio, and video. And some computer skills would be great as well. Some of these volunteer positions, you need to come to the tour events, and some of them you don't. Some of them you don't have to come at all. So, whatever works for you. I think that's about everything I've got for you tonight. On the next one, I'm going to try and get some of the anglers. I'm going to try and get Dan Walker, who won the Classic. I'll try and get Brandon Hua, our AOY, Andrew Janke, our ROY, Chris Williams, who caught the biggest bag, Chris Glover caught the biggest largemouth, Corey Carlisle tied with 7 other anglers to catch the biggest smallmouth, but he won the tiebreaker. So yeah, I'd love to get a little something from each of those guys, even if it's a photo of them with the prize they won or with fish that really gave them that. That'd be cool. But that's my idea, is to try and get that more. I don't know how often this podcast is going to happen. I don't know that we have enough for it to be weekly, and that's a big commitment to do it weekly. But at least once a month and maybe twice a month is what would make the most sense, I think, especially with our schedule. Let's see, anything else? I don't see anything else in the comments. Thanks for watching and commenting. I appreciate it. I'll do better at keeping my eye on those comments and launch them as they come through. Have a good night, and I'm going to turn the website on right now. So go and check it out. Thanks.